Hello again, and let's start with the second part of e-learning principles. Let's list the two main points of this video. First of all, we are going to present some practical advices that can help you organize an effective webinar. And secondly, we are going to look at e-learning from another perspective and find ways on how to improve our learning process in an online course. So let's start with our first topic on how to organize an effective webinar. Webinars provide a different learning experience compared to on-site classes. The interaction between teachers and students is more limited, and participants often choose not to turn their cameras. Additionally, student-to-student interaction is restricted to chat conversations and breakout rooms. To ensure a successful online event, let's focus on three key elements. Preparation is crucial as time in a webinar passes quickly. Start by setting clear objectives for your event and structure your presentation in a way that maintains a smooth flow. Unlike traditional lectures, webinars rely on quick, dynamic interactions between the presenter and participants. To keep engagement high, every part of the webinar should be well-paced, avoiding long pauses or gaps so that you do not lose the attention of your listeners. Keep introductions short and to the point. Also, design exercises that last only a few minutes to maintain energy and attention. Before the event, verify that you know well the webinar platform functionalities so that you avoid technical interruptions afterwards. Also, it can be a good idea to invite a co-host or assistant to handle technical issues and answer the questions from the listeners. Second, provide clear guidelines. Setting expectations at the beginning of the session can help the participants stay engaged throughout the event. Here you can present the agenda, the event objectives, but also provide practical instructions on what they might need. For example, they may need their phone to scan QR code to participate in a survey or a larger screen to interact with the whiteboard. It is always useful to encourage participants to focus on the session, minimize multitasking, and reduce distractions when possible. However, we need to accept the fact that some participants may only listen passively with their earphones and occasionally have a look at the screen, and that's also okay. The third element is related to paying attention to engagement. Keeping participants actively involved is one of the biggest challenges of online learning. Unlike in-person sessions, online courses don't naturally develop group dynamics, so presenters must intentionally create interactive elements. Some functionalities of the software might be very useful for this purpose, such as chat, whiteboards, polls, shared files, and breakout rooms. Active participation not only improves learning outcomes, but also helps you to check how many people are still following the session. Of course, the list is not exhaustive, but already with planning ahead, setting clear guidelines, and promoting engagement, you can create a much more dynamic and effective online learning experience. Now, let's have a look at e-learning from another perspective and explore some of the ideas that could improve not teaching but learning online. As some of us surely know, the risk of an online course is that the participants don't finish it, and some don't even start to learn. Also, learning online requires a different style of skills and strategies than stationary learning, as we have much more freedom to decide on when and how we approach the online learning material. Research shows that the most effective learners have the ability to self-regulate. However, there is no single definition of self-regulation that is agreed upon researchers. It refers to multiple processes. By taking into account different definitions of this concept in the literature, we can see that self-regulation is a style of engagement in learning. It involves the active participation of the learner in this process, independently of her or his teachers or other educational agents. In addition, as self-regulated students have the ability to set goals. In order to achieve them, they know how to plan, monitor, and evaluate their learning, and undertake effective strategies. When they are confronted with obstacles in their learning, they use flexible methods to better overcome them. Self-regulated learners are individuals who are aware of the quality of their knowledge, beliefs, motivation, and cognitive processes. Barry Zimmerman has created a typology of self-regulated learning strategies, which can help students to be more efficient in their learning process. It also can serve the teachers that can guide their students on how to develop necessary skills and one's own most convenient personalized strategy to get through the course. Strategies are self-evaluating, organizing and transforming, goal setting and planning, seeking information, keeping records and monitoring, environmental structuring, self-consequating, rehearsing and memorizing, seeking social assistance, reviewing records, and others. Let's explore them in more detail in the context of online learning. The first strategy is self-evaluation. Zimmerman defines it as statements indicating student-initiated evaluations of the quality of their work. For example, when a student says, "I check over my work to make sure I did it right." Self-evaluation can also occur when you verify a quiz answer using course material or other sources before clicking on the automatic correction. Additionally, it happens when you read your assignment with a critical eye for possible improvements or corrections. Students can use generative AI tools to check if they provided good answers or ask for feedback on their work. The second strategy is organizing and transforming. This includes students' rearrangements of instructional materials to improve learning. For example, when they make an outline before writing a paper, or organizing, structuring their notes, or using different colors for better clarity and understanding. Here we focus on goal setting and planning, which involves sequencing, timing, and completing activities related to these goals. For instance, a student might start studying 2 weeks before the exam instead of leaving all the effort for the night before. In e-learning, it also includes deciding on the reasons to follow an online course. For instance, it could be improved career opportunities, setting your expectations, and scheduling dedicated time for the course. So allocating specific time slots for different portions of the material. Next strategy refers to actively seeking additional information from non-social sources while working on an assignment or a course content. This involves students looking up other sources to better understand a topic or finding alternative explanations for concepts they find challenging. Students might also use generative AI to rephrase a definition or provide more examples to make a concept easier to grasp. Keeping records and monitoring is another example of self-regulation. This is when students are making an effort to document events or results. For example, they may take notes from a video material or build a list of concepts that they want to explore in more detail. Environmental structuring refers to creating a physical setting that optimizes learning. Course participants might minimize distractions, for example by cleaning their desk or switching off their phones, or changing their study locations to boost motivation. This can also involve choosing a quiet room at home, studying in the library, or finding a cozy spot in a coffee shop. Self-consequating is a technique in which students set their own rewards and punishments based on how well they perform. It can be as simple as watching another episode of a series after completing a lesson. On the other hand, if they fail to meet their study goals, they might have to skip a fun activity or require themselves to review the material again before taking a break. Rehearsing and memorizing, of course, involve various practices aimed at recalling course material effectively. For example, students might repeat new content at different intervals to ensure long-term memorization. They can also use specific apps to revise foreign vocabulary or ask AI to generate exercises on specific topics to reinforce their learning. Seeking social assistance is a strategy where students actively seek help from teachers, peers, and other adults. A student might ask the teacher for clarification. Some online courses also offer assistance from the presenters. This category also includes consulting a native speaker when learning a foreign language or engaging with professionals from relevant fields that can provide valuable insights. Reviewing records means rereading notes, tests, or course material to prepare for class or testing. In the e-learning context, this can relate to checking one's personal notes or some elements of e-learning module. It can also include revisiting this content after some time following the completion of the course. Finally, the other category includes statements indicating learning behavior initiated by others, such as teachers or parents, as well as other unclear responses. For example, a student might say, "I just do what the teacher says." Of course, the Zimmerman typology of self-regulating strategies is not the only one. Other researchers have presented their own perspectives. Let's add just one more strategy that often appears in scientific literature. It relates to the control of emotions, or in other words, the capacity to influence or manage emotional reactions. For example, when too much content overwhelms learners, they can remind themselves of the things they have already learned to boost their confidence. Also, students can learn to better accept uncertainty and understand that some concepts will become clear with time and experience. To sum up and complete the list of ideas that could improve our efficiency in learning online, here are some advices that could be helpful. Setting your goal for the training can help you maintain the motivation through the process. Check the training program to decide what is particularly interesting for you and what you really want to achieve. Think about what you want to be able to understand or do after the training. It could be helpful to write it down and keep an eye on it throughout the course. Next step could be planning. Check how much time you can dedicate to learning and practice. How much time and what moments of the day would be most suitable for you. Be realistic and think of the time you might have enough energy to focus and get the best from the content. Avoid distractions and, if possible, avoid multitasking. This is why setting an amount of time in your calendar could be helpful to dedicate all your attention to the course. Learn actively. Do the assignments included in the course. Take notes. Use suggested solutions. Keep the goal in mind. But don't over-demand yourself. Get back to the material or your notes to reinforce the memorization, do synthesis of the most important elements for you. Ask for help. Send your questions to the teacher, another expert, colleague, or a friend. And finally, very important, enjoy the process. Take breaks if needed. Choose a comfortable surrounding that will support your learning best. Also, reflect on your learning methods to improve the process. Some of the formats can be more enjoyable for you. If possible, choose the teachers and the methods that suit you best and offer you personalized, best-sized learning solution. Thank you for watching this video. We hope that you are now equipped with some new ideas on how to teach and learn online. And now it's time to continue with another 3 videos on online content creation. Enjoy and have a great day.